Yeah.
But when it's time to interact with you, converse with you, they can't. Yes, it's Miss.
I know,
Miss
and I also like to
very,
add that it's reinforcing for them to sing rhymes and the
yes.
likes.
Okay.
But they don't see the dividend of conversing,
with you
until
yes.
you teach them that you can also get something out of conversing with me. They might not engage in any conversation.
Okay.
So you have to do therapy for that
A
child.
question came in asking if autism and cerebral palsy are the same.
They are not the same. They are not the same.
Maybe you want to tell us.
But they can
differences?
coexist.
Yes.
A child can have both cerebral palsy and autism.
Okay.
But they are two different diagnoses. Yeah.
Maybe even though we're not focusing on cerebral palsy, you can just give us a little insight on
Cerebral
what it is.
palsy is a paralysis of a part of the brain, depending on how it affects the child.
Okay.
For some people, they can't move some part of their body, but the other parts can function. For some, they are bedridden. They can't stand up. They can't move. That cerebral palsy. So depending on how it affects the child, cerebral palsy is just a paralysis of the brain, depending on the part of the brain that is paralyzed.
Okay. Joshua from Oyo has a question for you, Damilola. He's saying, is there any medication that can remove autism in a child or reduce the impact?
Therapy.
I mean, we've had people do different things like stem cell. These. I mean, like I said again, it works for some people.
It doesn't.
For some other people, it doesn't work. It's dependent on the child. So we can't say that there is a medicine that takes away
autism.
No.
Okay.
I don't know of any that takes away autism. Otherwise, everybody will be
believe
heading to the pharmacy or the
yes.
Of course. Another question on hereditary, but I think we've already spoken about that.
Yeah.
Let me see if we have it. Okay. So would you say, someone is saying, is it a genetic disorder or a mental disorder? Maybe you want to tell us about that.
More of a mental disorder.
Mental.
Neurodevelopmental disorder. So it's something that...
You're a psychologist as well, am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's something about the brain. It's not genetic is your genes, your chromosomes and everything, but autism, it's a mental disorder. It's something that affects the way your brain processes information. It's not like it's not processing, but it's processing it different way, and then it's giving the output in different ways than we are used to.
Okay.
So it's not in genetics, it's more of a mental disorder.
Let's talk about socially accepted words. You can't say a victim. You say an individual living with autism. So not a victim.
No, they are not a victim.
And I personally don't like when you say an autistic child.
Okay.
Because they were first children. They are still children. Autistic child doesn't come out right with me.
Okay, so what should we say?
So you can say a child who is on the autism spectrum, affected by autism, impacted by autism.
Right. Okay, that's more socially accepted. No, because we need to know these things, and it's a national TV show. It's good for this information to go out there because people use so many words. I don't want to use them on national TV. That is wrong. But victim is not the word, and I think individuals living with affected by. Thank you so much. Thank you. She's living my life. She's living my life, and I haven't even started. I don't even know who to talk to. Where do they start from?
First of all, you start from your home. Like my husband and I, if your child is not accepted within your family, then the point of it being accepted out there.
I'm glad you said that.
So you start from your home. It takes a village. Not only you and your husband, everybody, the children, cousins, grandma, grandpa, get them involved. Everybody must be involved. And then before you go out there and tell your child, tell other people about your child. And then, of course, early intervention.
Okay.
Early intervention. So I have 3 things: early intervention, inclusion, acceptance. Those 3 things, they are very key for the child.
Okay, so in the villages, sometimes when this kind of challenge comes and it's obvious that the child is on the spectrum, the mother gets blamed. You know, they will say, maybe it's some sin from her past or some family sin, things like that. The awareness is still not.
Yes, unfortunately.
In the towns, okay, but in the villages, that stigma of, well, it must be something, or it's the woman's fault. We all know what we mean by it's the woman's fault or the family's fault and everything. What do you say to people like that who still have that mindset about it being a family thing, a family problem? Let's leave them to them.
You have to talk to them. You have to educate them. And then you have to tell them about children that are on the spectrum that are doing well. you have to tell them that this is not a death sentence. This is not it's a lifelong condition, but these children have special abilities in them. And you as a parent, you need to find that ability. You need to work on your child so that they can be able to live a good life in the society.
Someone is asking, good morning, it's a pleasure to be on this program with you all. What causes autism? I don't think we actually spoke about causes, even though it was in the program. What causes autism?
There are no known causes.
No, nobody knows.
Researches are ongoing, but nobody has been able to say that
No one knows.
this is what causes autism. So we can't put any into
So we can't throw the blame on anyone or
No,
anything.
No.
If
no,
it's
no
happened,
one.
it's happened.
It
It's good
happened,
to
it
just
happened. Yeah.
face it and
Yes.
and handle it squarely. Okay, awesome. Let me see. I have another one saying, thanks for enlightening people about autism. What is the solution when my child seems to have memory loss? My child usually has memory loss from Aria.
For memory loss, it's not memory loss. It's just the way you have to keep doing it over and over and over again until it becomes part of them.
It takes a lot of
It
patience.
takes a
being
lot of
parent.
patience. So it's not. What she's saying is memory. It's not really memory loss. It's just learning disability. So she really needs to keep. If you are teaching 1 + 1, if a normal child can learn that in 2 days, it might take 3, 4, 5 months or even a year for a child on the spectrum that has learning disability to learn that. So you have to keep teaching the child in love and with patience.
Okay.
And then,
This is a question that stands out to me. They said, what if the child is under nobody's care? What if the child is an orphan with no one in particular, no parent to take care of the child? So
That's-
maybe you might want to speak to...
That's heartbreaking. Like JKS Orphanage for Special Needs Children in Abuja.
there is?
They take in such children, and that's why
privately
privately funded, and that's why we came up with a portal, the CARS Autism Society portal, where we onboarded these children, and well-meaning Nigerians, anybody from all over the world can go on this portal and pick a child and pay for therapy for that child. Yeah, that's if you go to that orphanage, they are in Kubwa, there's really a huge need there.
Thank you so
There
much
was
for
a
bringing
child
on
that was almost strangulated and abandoned. This orphanage home took that child
in.
Yes.
And different societies have different names. In my own side of Nigeria, they call them Emiri. That's what people say. They say Emiri or Banje. They're different derogatory words, in my opinion, that are used, and we just need to break that cycle of using those kind of terms.
Bad stigma,
Yes.
I'd also like to speak to someone who talked about the child having memory loss.
Yes.
It's like when you learn to drive and you don't drive eventually, you might forget things. So if you have skills or you're not putting to use, then there's every tendency that you don't remember the skills. So these children, some of them learn these things, but they are not really putting it to use. If you learn 1 + 1 and you have not actually been able to put one and one thing together to make 2, you might not know the next time someone asks you 1 + 1.
Okay.
So any skills that they are taught, they need to apply it in real life situations for them to keep it in there.
Okay. Some people use the word imbecile and autism. Is that the same thing? And is imbecile a socially acceptable word?
That's a terrible word to use. Yeah, it's a
not at
terrible word. And
people use it. I've seen
TV,
people on the pulpit.
Yes.
On the pulpits use that word.
It's a terrible word to use for anybody, any human being. And it's heartbreaking when parents with children on the spectrum or they have children that have cerebral palsy or they have children that have brain disorder. It's very heartbreaking for the parents to see another person call their child an imbecile. That word should be taken out of the dictionary.
It should be stricken out of the dictionary. Damilola, would you like to speak on the use of the word and, just how people need to be more sensitive to families who have individuals
I
on the
believe
spectrum?
by the reason of this awareness creation, it will help people to know better. I feel like if they know better, they wouldn't say it. It's nothing to call anyone's child. I'm very sure people who use the words would not like that their own children be called. So I mean, if you know about something, you would not misjudge or misinterpret whatever it is, which is why we're doing what we're doing, ensuring that people know what conditions exist, because these conditions do exist among us. And then when you see it, you will know better how to empathize, how to help, how to
Show love.
show love.
Show love.
Okay, on that note, we'll be drawing the curtain on today's edition of Conversations. I want to warmly thank Dr. Sylvia Tagbo Keke for joining us, a parent who is doing great things all over for her son and for individuals living on the spectrum. Damilola, we appreciate you and the work that you're doing with the foundation. It's been awesome and an honor to meet you both. This is Conversations here on NTA Network. Thank you for joining us and see you again soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
"24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
And yellow, the jungle, with the initiative, but there's a swift counter there by Dang Autankudawa.
They are sweating it out there. Quite literally, you can see how much beads of sweat. Oh, see the razzmatazz there from Algerin to Basra, and I like it.
So much resistance level in him, so much resistance. And I bet you, Aljanin Meta Kwasara has a lot to do here today.
Here is Algerin Dogon Ebola taking on Bahagun and Sanda. Algerin Dogon Ebola is the one where, and Algerin Dogon Ebola has been killed. Something stylish about them. And Bahagun and Sanda is also dramatic about it.
NTA, you can't beat the rich.